Hi guys, I know after the daily videos about planning your novel, I kind of left you hanging, but hopefully that has given you time to write up a nice, big, juicy outline. Before you get to actually writing, there is one more step that I want to go over, and that is turning all of this into a nice typed up outline, which will make it a lot easier if you're going to be writing at your computer or electronically instead of on paper. So I do the outlining in the specific order that I go over here in the Plan Your Novel series that I did earlier last year. So that is not in the right order. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go from this to kind of like an altered beat sheet. Basically, the beat sheet from Save the Cat from Blake Snyder. I altered it to put in a lot of the things that are not specifically written out there. So things such as like where the point of no return goes, where the catch goes, where the ones and the setup ones and everything goes, and put everything that you've written down here onto your outline with some exceptions. So the first couple of things you will have planned would have been like your story circles, your nutshell techniques, your log lines, things like that. Those are things that you don't need to type up in your outline. Those are some things that you can put into another document that I make. Usually I call it like a splash page. I have my outline here, and then I'm going to make a new document again. And this document I'm going to call splash page. So now all of the things that you don't know where they go, like things like characters, things like some of your early brainstorming that you haven't placed yet, it's a good idea to have a splash page so you can put that all down. Then also as you're writing, you can write down things like work schedule, school schedule, all of the other characters, like the small characters that you add in and you name them. You can type in people's jobs, like sometimes you can have like a minor character, like a friend's mom, and you write down what their job is. You want to remember that when you go back to it. And so I also type up a splash page. And I just type everything up as best as I can. That's just for me to ever see. The outlines, usually it is going to be just for you to see, but sometimes having outlines to show to other people to show like what you are able to be writing soon is a nice way. So it's nice to keep your outlines easier to read, so to not have like every single thing that you've written in it. All right, so the way that you start, you just start a new document, but then you can go to this document that I have linked down below, and you can go ahead and copy it. It's going to have the entire beat sheet written out, steps 1 through 15 in that verbiage, but it's also going to have all the inserts of the other verbiage that you planned along the way if you followed my Plan Your Novel steps. Go ahead and save that document in your Google Docs, or copy it and save it on your word processor, and then that's something that you can always go back to and open as a template. And then start a new document, paste that in, and then start inserting it. Title your document as the working title of your book, and then write outline in big letters on it. Then you won't ever lose it. And then just go ahead and start typing things in. The first thing that I usually go to is the setup want and the need. So the setup want is actually going to be put into Blake Snyder's step 3, which is the setup. Today is the day. And you want to put in your setup want, just write out setup want and then write it out. And then you might, just as a reminder for yourself, put up your want and your need in that section too. But want versus need might go into the splash page. Just do whatever works for you there. So that one's a little bit more difficult. And then you get to the catch, which is also kind of confusing. So the catch and the point of no return, those are going to be to break into Act 2, which is number 6. And then things get a little bit easier after that. You get to the midpoint. Number 9 is the midpoint. So you just type up everything that you have in the midpoint there. Then you go to the crisis or the low point, 12, the dark night of the soul, and then the climactic choices. That is in the break into act 3. Some of the wording, like break into act 3, break into 2, break into 3, they have different wording, but I did make a document that shows all of the different wording that might make it a little bit easier. Then final step, final image, that is the same. So then when we get to something like the 1 paragraph summary, so that is something that you've written out, but it doesn't go into your outline. This is a summary to kind of show yourself and show potential readers what the book is going to be about, or potential publishers, I guess. So that is something that you can type up into your splash page. It's a good thing to always be able to look back at it. You don't have to put everything in that you already had written up into your splash page if you don't want to type it up. So you can just like put a little sticky note or a tab or something so that you know where to flip back to. But now we're going to get into something like opening image. So when we did opening image in our planning section, we did a brainstorm. So instead of just figuring out what the opening image is, we wrote out 20. Now in your outline, you can go ahead and type up every single one, or maybe this is the time where you go through, you have the bones of your story in your head and in your written up outline, your handwritten outline, so you can kind of understand a little bit better what your opening image might be. Now you can start to decide and then type just that up. Okay, now we're up to fun and games. Type everything up in the fun and games category, which is number 8. Catalyst will be in inciting incident, and debate will be number 5. Then Bad Guys Close In is going to go in number 10. Some of those are going to start before the midpoint, and some of them are going to start during the fun and games even. Just put everything that you have written down into the Bad Guys Close In category in number 10. As you write, you'll start to put things into the right place. While I was outlining, I came across some character things that I needed to write out. Any of your characters that you have, that's not going to be in your outline. So you can go ahead and type all of your character analysis, character planning, and all of that. You can put that into the splash page. Whiff of Death, that's going to be in the All Is Lost point. Then we get up to the finale, number 14. So the finale, we talked about the 5-point finale. So that's going to be assemble the team, execute the plan, Hightower surprise, dig down deep, and execute the new plan. Type that all up into your outline. Very important. The B story, you planned out the B story all at once when you're planning it in your planning outline, but now that you're putting it into your actual outline, like your timeline outline, then you need to break it down a little bit. So you're going to have the B story, which does have a number. It is number 7. That's where like a bulk part of your B story is going to be. In your handwritten outline, you planned out where the B story crosses the A story at the midpoint, and how does the B story cross the A story in the break into Act 3. Because the midpoint is here in number 9, in number 7, you can just explain what the B story is, who they are, and it'll kind of make sure that you, as you're writing, make sure that you have it a little, introduce the character or introduce the premise a little bit earlier. I have a little section here that says to type in where your B story crosses at the midpoint, and then again in break into 3, you're going to have your B story aha moment. So those two things, they're going to be kind of broken up, but the main B story section is number 7. In number 2 on the beat sheet is the theme stated. So in that section, you can write down what the theme is. The main character might not know or realize what the theme is right away, but the reader is going to have some inklings. And usually that is a side character, or even the other character in the B story will say something kind of point blank to say what the theme is. And sometimes it will have nothing to do with the A story at all, right now, as the main character pieces everything together, and then they have their aha moment. They're like, oh, okay, the thing that I've been thinking about this whole time because of that one little nugget. And the reader, too, might have like that little nugget in their head. And then they're like, oh, that's the theme of the whole story. So, a good thing to put in the theme stated number 2 is who that side character is, how they say the theme earlier in the book, and how and why they say it early on in the book before the main character has gone through any sort of growth or anything. So hopefully all of that makes it easier. Go ahead and click on that link down below, get that beat sheet, that detailed beat sheet. This is just entirely for free. This is just me wanting to share this. So feel free to share it with others. There's no payment that you have to do. Um, there's 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 no payment. I don't get anything from it. I don't get any ads or anything from it. So just go ahead and share that along with everyone. If you do that, I encourage you to look back at my Plan Your Novel series that I have in November of 2024. And that might make this make a lot more sense if you haven't planned your novel yet. If you want to see more writing process videos from me, please subscribe. I have more to come. In this book, I actually outlined 4 novels at once, revolving around the same main character. And that was a really fun challenge for me. If you want me to speak more to that and how I did that and how to plan a whole series out at once, I would love to make a video about that, so just leave a comment about that. Earlier this year, I edited a novel for the first time. It was scary, but I went through it, and I still have some work to do on that, so if you want to see me struggle through that some more, those are some videos you can look forward to. And then I am definitely going to do the work to talk to publishers, talk to agents, and see what the best next step is for my novel writing journey. So if you want to come along with me, please subscribe and I will be here. Leave me any comments for any suggestions that you have or any requests that you have when it comes to writing. Just as a reminder, I write realistic fiction in the YA category, and that is what I have the most knowledge about. And it's what I am also wanting to learn the most about. And if you made it this far, please give me a like. Would love for more people to be able to see this video. So the more people that like it, the more other people get to see it. So that's very helpful for me and very helpful for YouTube. So YouTube knows that people are interested in this kind of content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon talking about books, I'm sure. Bye.